Hi everyone, this is day 4 solution. Okay, hope you had a good one doing this. A bit more difficult. Hopefully you found it a bit of a little stretch and a challenge. So this time round, okay, we're speaking to some of you that have been doing so far. Everyone seems to be doing fairly well and sort of enjoying it. So this time I'm going to show you a different way. I'm going to work from the center point this time outwards, rather than me always working outwards into the center point. Just show you a different way of doing stuff. So first off, okay, I'm going to split this down into the first part. So I'm going to look at the PCD 70 with the 5 sort of holes that are on that sort of pitch circle diameter. Those 5 holes are at 10mm. So I'm going to basically come in, draw a circle on my 0, point, radius of 35, pitch circle diameter 70. Okay, then on the quadrant on the top, I'm going to turn on and then use then that 10mm and polar array that equally spaced around 360 degrees. So I'm going to start my drawing. I'm using my template like I normally do. Okay, and again this week I've turned on the properties little tab. So again, properties, you can either put in prop and it'll come up along the side, okay, or actually when you draw something, so I'm actually going to put the 70 in here. Okay, you can actually right click and click properties on the bottom and it will also pop up that layer. So there's my 70. Now hopefully you've realised actually I put 70 radius rather than 70 diameter. Okay, so what I can do here is normally have to delete it, go back in, work out what half of 70 is, which obviously is 35, and then put that element in. But actually what we're going to do today is a bit different. I'm going to actually just put 70 in the diameter. Okay, and it will change my radius. Using the properties box, it's a very powerful tool to just do quick edits. Likewise, if you put something just simply in like the wrong location, okay, I can actually move this by putting in new coordinates from wherever it's currently based. I could do 25 by 25. Okay, you can actually do it in vice versa. You can actually put something in minus if you want to do minus 12, wherever you want to go. It'll move it around like a normal coordinate system would. So very useful tool to have. So I'm going to put my R70, my vision layer, because it's not a crucial part. It just helps me to select my 10mm, which goes on that top quadrant. So again, radius 5. Remember, if you can't select the quadrant, make sure you got your quadrant snap turned on. So into the polar array. Okay, polar array. Those ones around the center point, 0, 0. Okay, I'm just going to select 5 in here. Click off, make sure the graphic then moves. It should be 72 by 360. If you've got all those details, click to confirm. So that's my first little element done, just my first section done. Next up, okay, I'm going to stick with basically moving up in tiers this time. Okay, we're going to work on this little section here. So my R60 is from the center, my R10 is from my 70 pitch circle diameter. Okay, and I've got a little kind of infographic, 12.98 between centers, 7.1 up from my baseline 10 curve. So what I'm going to do first off is put the first little diameter in, which we know is 10. Okay, I'm going to change that and put it in my construction layer, because I've got to do a bit of construction now. So I'm going to do quite a lot of work, so I'm going to stick in my construction. I'm going to put my 60. Okay, so now I have my first elements of that part. Now I'm going to draw a line in the centre. Okay, so I can offset my 12.98. Now 12.98 obviously divided by half, to get half your side, we know 6.49. And I can kind of come off my centre to the left, off my centre to the right. If you don't like maths, or you just think actually I can't work out that, under the utilities bar there is actually a calculator. Okay, so you could actually put in 12.98, divide that by 2, and it'll give you then the value. And then you can actually bring that value in, and you can also do conversions, and you can work out variables on the little calculator system that they have here. So it's a good tool to use. Not many people know it's actually there. From this point then, I'm just simply going to draw a line off of my quadrant, offset 7.1. Okay, there is my little kind of plot, but 7.5mm radius in. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. Pop there, 7.5 rad. Okay, there's the first bit, and then actually what I'm going to do is save my life, make it a bit easier, just use the mirror tool, choose 2 points, keep the original source, and that's then like the first element of my part. I'm going to go into trim. I'm just going to tidy some of this up, so I'm going to remove any bits that I don't currently need at this point. Okay, like that section. Now, you're probably thinking, well, actually that 10 is still a bit too short, so how is it actually referenced? So remember that is 10 mil, and it's coming off of that 10 line. So again, it's sort of as it comes around, it sort of double bubbles back up. It's quite an extended kind of arc, so which is going to be fine. So we have that and part there, and what I'm going to do is just going to convert that one, and now that one back into my drawing. Okay. Now if I fill it in, fill it between this one and this one, I need to actually put the radius in first, so radius is going to be 10. Okay, now that will obviously want to snap down there, but if I put it between the two, okay, I get that kind of double bubble shape that I actually need, like so. Now if I do a quick check, okay, from the radius, it's R10, so it is right, it's just not quite slap bang on that particular movement. So rather than me latching it on, okay, you can see from the drawing it is actually slap bang on that section. I'm just going to slightly move it down slightly, so because what we can't confirm is that actually it's slap bang in the center. So I had to use the center, so I'm going to adjust the center points afterwards. So I'm going to change that one back to a construction, don't actually need to put it, and what I'm going to do is I've now got my R, so I'm just actually going to trim that one off. So I'm going to trim that one off, okay, get rid of it there, and if I can just come and do a bit of trimming inside here, trim out that section, trim out that section. Now I can change that into my drawing, okay, like so. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move this section down, like so. So now rest on top. So now I know that is actually in the right place, because I didn't actually know if that 60 is slap bang on the center point, but I know my other one is 10 mil away from my pitch circle diameter. So now I can put there, it's exactly 10 mil away from my pitch circle diameter, so which means it's now correct. So I'm going to turn off my construction lines now, come into my drawing layer. Okay, now what I'm going to do, so I'm going to polar array that one around. So polar array 0, 0, and I just need to know how many I've got. So I've got so from the start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've got 10 of these components, so pop in 10. Okay, and then update. So now that's our second part all in. Last part is, again, we've got this little circle which slap bang in the center of all of it, R5, okay, 45 of them. So I've got to do pitch circle diameter, so again going to come across in my vision layer, radius 0, 0. Okay, I'm just going to click it, I don't know what the radius is, a 144, so I'm just going to come in and you can put 144, okay, like so. Just make your life really easy. Coming on again, I want to put 5 in, just R5. Okay, I'm going to change these into my drawing layer, so I don't kind of because once it actually does an array, okay, you can't manipulate it unless you split apart the array again. So select my objects, 0, 0. I need 45 of these ones. Okay, so that array function now 45. It might take a little bit of time just to work it out. Okay, so if you click anywhere else on the page, it'll be fine. And now we have all these objects. Now, if you look, okay, those 5 are linked, those 10 are linked, these 45 are linked, so I can't actually do anything with them. So if I go into trim, okay, it doesn't actually let me select anything at all. So what I'm going to now do is use explode. And what this does, explode splits apart the group relations in place. So I can now select each of these circles individually. Now on trim, okay, very carefully I'm just going to hold down the left hand key and draw around, so I get this kind of line. Every line that touches, it will trim out those functions. So nice and steady, keep your hand, select a couple at a time, try not to do it all in one go. Okay, just enable you then just to trim it against the vision line. Now if you're struggling at this point, you think I keep deleting my vision line, you can actually lock that layer. Okay, now when I do my trim, I can come over it. It doesn't like delete it, so I can be a bit more forceful and a bit more aggressive. Okay, after a while the graphic won't update because it can only do so much processing in one go. You can come in and just sort of hit all of them in one go like that. Once you're done, you can unlock it or just leave it locked. It doesn't really matter at this stage. So there's now my trimmed out function. Okay, anything that's left, just put in my little key dimensions now. So you put a leader in. Okay, just going to choose a point. Make sure I'm in my dimensions or my drawing layer, depending on whatever one that you want to go with. Okay, I'm going to put in 144 PCD, or I could actually put PCD 144. Okay, I can come and use another leader and put in PCD 70. You could put a bit of space in just to space it off a little bit if you wanted to. 70 like so. I mean, you should really try and do what I've done there and put it into blue rather than the yellow. I'm going to come in, select the radius 5, so 45 times R5. Okay, you might want to do then the radiuses here. So you see, actually I can't select any of the geometries because it's all one group still. So again, got to go back into explode those guys out. So radius 7.5, 7.5. This will give you the point to measure between the two on a linear scale. Okay, you could actually do then the point to point like that. Okay, 6.25 that time. It's because obviously I've edited it and now it's correct rather than what it was slightly dodged before. Okay, now you're thinking it's getting a bit congested, so I'm actually going to come along and just do the radius radius on one, and you can do the other radius on like a slightly another one. So just don't over compact it all in one go, like so. So there's all my radiuses. I can now output it and flick it on then to like my PDF and match it all in. So that's the solution for day 4. Okay, into the comments anything that you think actually, did you get anything different? Okay, how did you work out doing those middle pockets? I look forward to seeing you to do in day 5. So thanks for watching. Catch you tomorrow.